Stand by. And we're live. Good Mountain Monday morning, folks. Welcome to the Mountain Monday Morning Show right here on Mountain Fun Life Radio. Hi, I'm your host, Robert Ownby, along with Mountain Man, a.k.a. Wayne McCarter. How you doing this morning, Wayne?
I'm wonderful.
You're just wonderful. Well,
wonderful.
We're going to talk about that later. I think you got a little bit of trouble a few days ago. We'll discuss that later. But right now, what do we need the folks to do?
Well, I'd like for them to go on and click and share. The more they click and the more they share, the better I look.
The better you look. Oh, get over it. Get over it. It's Mountain Monday morning. You got to get over that attitude right now. Hey, we do need you to share and like the page, rate the page, share our videos, subscribe to YouTube. You can do that too, you know. And if you'd like to have a show or sponsor a show, support us. I mean, if you want to just support any of the program, doesn't have to be Mountain Monday Morning, anything on here, Mountain Fun Life channel or the Creative Christian Network, you know, it's kind of, we're channeling all different directions this morning. How's that? You like that?
I like that.
We go in all different directions this morning, like that very much. And so you can do all this at DDX Media Livecast Studios, and we have 3 studios here, and we just proud of all that's going on here. So why do we not just go ahead and take us? Hey, we got a guest too. We got a special guest we're going to be introducing after a while with some mighty fine songwriting, singing, publishing, and she does it all. I mean, that's just fine. And we're going to be introducing this lady just a little bit later on. So take us out to a break, Bob, and we'll be right back.
Well, the rooster's crowing and the day is new, with the morning grass still wet with dew. Out through the window I took a peek, gonna take a little trip down to Cooper's Creek. Now the fish may bite and they may not, but we'll have a lot of fun and there be a lot. Take a little bit of time to make the tough life sweet. Gonna take a little trip down to Cooper's Creek.
And welcome back to Mountain Monday Morning here on Mountain Fun Life Radio. And we hope that you're going to be doing all that we want you to do here. Click and share and tweet, text, get on the phone if you have to. Holler across the street at your neighbor and say, hey, tune in here to listen. We got something good going on here from the Great Smoky Mountains right here in the middle of Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Hey, come on up and see us. We'd be glad to have you. Yeah, you might could come by here and maybe we'd do a little bit of talking to them here on.
You kind of forgot Action Packed.
Action packed. We can't leave that out because it is action packed with all the goings on around here with Dollywood and what else we got? We got the island and just
Man,
restaurants, all that good food, good eating, Yeah, you can't. You like that, don't you?
I like to eat.
Hey, I hear
yes,
you
sir.
got in a little bit of trouble here a few days ago. I hear you got pulled over by state. What happened? State trooper pull you over for something?
Well, I was going down the interstate there, and he kind of pulled in behind me, and I didn't
Turn his
know.
blue lights on
Yeah, he
and
turned
everything?
he turned his syringe on me there, and
Siren.
that's what I said, yep. But when I started to pull over, noticed didn't have my seatbelt on.
Ooh.
Click it or take it, you know the rules.
Yeah, I know the rules.
So
Well,
I
what-
thought,
what-
how can I fix this? So I'm gonna whoop it over real quick, and when he's getting out of the car, I'll click that.
Yeah, okay.
So-
Well, that was a smart
So
idea.
I turned the signal on, I pulled over real quick, and when he was getting out of the car, I clicked it pretty quick there, and he come up and he asked me for my driver's license
Oh, yeah.
and all this good
Registration,
stuff.
routine.
And he said, when I passed you back there, didn't look like you had your seatbelt on. He said, but I can see you do. I said, yes, sir. I'm a law-abiding citizen.
Right.
I don't like to drive without my seatbelt. He said, well, do you always drive with it looped through the stern wheel like that?
Loop through
kinda
the
got
stern. Well,
A little bit too excited.
You got a little bit too excited. Oh, the man alive.
Never
So-
lie
but
to
you
a
didn't-
police officer.
No, you didn't get a ticket though, did you?
No.
Yeah, okay.
No.
He had compassion on you. I guess he was.
Yeah, he thought I wasn't all liar.
I thought you wasn't all there.
Mhm.
Well, I'm telling you, we want to invite all of you now to just go ahead and get that clicking and sharing and getting all that done right now and joining in here with the good mountain fun and picking and singing we got going on. That Cooper's Creek, you know, that is off of the
I like it.
Silver Dollar Fish
I like it.
family feature film that
They let me choose this morning. That's the one
you
I
got
chose.
to choose. You chose that one right off of
Actually did.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, that's right off of Silver Dollar Fish movie. I got to write the theme song for that and got to put that, wrote that song. I co-wrote some with Rodney Wiseman, who wrote the script for it. That's the script's got 5 doves, and that's pretty good showing. And it's still making its rounds through reviews and stuff like
pretty
that.
good
But it's
song,
good family
though.
film, yeah. And so we want you all to be sure and keep an eye out for that and go see the Silver Dollar Fish movie. It's a good one, let me tell you. It got a good meaning to it, good message to it, and good acting, and good producing too. Ain't that right, Bob Denny? Bob Denny helped with it. Yes, sirree. That's going to be a good one. So you don't want to miss Silver Dollar Fish. And had a good time helping to do the music on it. It was a job. It was really a job, but it was fun. And I want to say hi. Oh, Landra Sims, Landra and Martin, hi over on English Mountain. Landra's new book is finished, the children's book we got done. Frog Holla 5. Book number 5 in the Frog Holla stories for children.
She ain't gonna like you saying she's high.
Yeah, high up on English Mountain. The atmosphere.
Landra is a lot of things, but high ain't one of them.
I ain't one of them.
High
No.
ain't one of them.
Anyway, it's this one is another one's full color. The second one, the interior, and of course the cover. It's all full color. A little more expensive, but the pricing is going to be, as usual, rock bottom. Now it's not designed and put out to make money. The intent is not to make money, but to help children have something that is wholesome, with good content, without a lot of the stuff, the witchcraft.
You know, my youngest
Spells.
granddaughter has read all these, and she wants to meet Landra, and I hope we can set this up.
Yeah, and I have a new Facebook friend came on, has a bluegrass, I think it's a gospel bluegrass group, and want to give a shout out to Charles Fine. Welcome, Charles, over in Alcoa area, Tennessee. So we're glad to have you, and I want to hear some of your all's music, and who knows what we might come up with. We always got something cooking here at Mountain Fun Life. That's the reason it's called Mountain Fun Life. And we do have a guest with us this morning, and this lady, she's a singer, songwriter, publisher, entertainer, performer, however you want to say it, and got some wonderful songs. Michelle Storm is with us, so we're going to be taking a break in here and get her in here, and we're going to discuss her music, how she got started and everything. And you just met her for the first time, right?
This first time.
And she became friends with my niece, Paula Gale Parton, and we kind of got to discussing. She was playing the music in her car one day when I was getting ready to leave, and it sounded really good, and I thought, hey, I like that. That's neat. And there's one particular song on here that I think we've got queued up, and this song kind of gets a hold of your heart and squeezes it, you know. It's really a good song, and I think it's very personal for her, and it's called Military Mom. So why don't we go ahead, and Bob, why don't you go ahead and cue that song up, Military Mom by Michelle Storm, and we'll introduce our guest.
It's time to go, but before you do, there's so many things I want to say to you. Part of my heart you're taking, while the rest will stay here breaking. Lean on God and His love will get you through. You got mountains to climb, deserts under the sun. You'll be oceans away under enemy gun. You got God on your side till your job is done, and I'll be waiting for you, son.
Welcome back to Mountain Monday Morning, folks. Good to have you joining in with us right across the state of Tennessee, Smoky Mountains, the United States, around the world, all the way down South Africa, India, Bangladesh, and man alive, we're just reaching out. And we want to welcome Michelle Storm. Good to have you, Michelle.
Good morning, Ryan.
Are you doing all right this morning?
I'm doing great this morning.
Had your coffee, but we didn't have any made when you got here. That was a little upsetting, wasn't it?
That's all right. I got over it.
Oh, you got over it. Well, good. It's good to have you with us this morning. And we met through my niece and a fundraiser, I believe it was.
It was. It was the fundraiser after the fires.
Yeah, and you came down here, all the way down here from, was it Illinois? That you
I
came
did.
down from?
Just south of Chicago.
And that was in support of the big Gatlinburg fires, horrible fires that we had. And that was, that was a very gracious act. But speaking of gracious acts, I think it's very gracious for someone who's so talented to come up with such wonderful words and music and singing. And you all heard just a little bit of one of the songs, Military Mom. And this, is this your first album?
It is.
It's your first album. And you wrote all the songs on it?
I did.
And you published them?
I did.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about how you came up with the idea for Military Mom? I think that's kind of personal for you, isn't it?
It is. My son was deployed overseas, and about 3 days before his last deployment, he was deployed 3 times. And on the last deployment, I needed a language that he needed to understand. So in the words, things overseas were getting a little tumultuous. So I wrote it just before he deployed in 3 days. Oh. And I told him, you know what, this is how Mom feels. And he recorded it on his hand recorder and took it back overseas with him. And I told him, I said, no matter where you're at in the world, I'm in the palm of your hand.
Wow, and when you were sitting in your car playing this, when I came out of our service down at Abundant Life Worship Center, and when I heard the words to this one, when you clicked over to this song, I heard the words. I don't know if you noticed, but I was trying not to be manly and not to cry. I don't know whether you noticed, but I was just about to. That song was so touching, and it had to have been very meaningful to put your heart into a song like that. And some of the other titles on here: Penny Piper Dream, No Going Back, and of course number 4, Crossroads Memories, and 5, For the Last Time, 6, Anchor Through the Storm, 7, Have a Little Faith. Of course, I could go on. There are 10 songs on here, and why don't you tell the folks how they can get this? You got a website, don't you?
Yes, MichelleCD.com, which is also holds the link to Military Mom. You can purchase it on over 200 sites on download. And the PayPal link is on my music page, Michelle Storm Music on Facebook.
Be sure and look that up. Follow her music, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. And you see, now this is a taste of what you get here on Mountain Monday Morning, Mountain Fun Life Radio. And we're so pleased to have all of you joining us. We are the #1 radio out of thousands of radio stations. And of course we do the video too. You get the benefit of just not having to catch our waves coming through. We do this with all this modern technology that I don't know very much about. But our producer out here and director, Bob Denny, he's got it going. He's got it all going. And sometimes I have trouble just turning the timing machine on here so I can keep track of time. So I'm not, I'm old school on this technology.
Well, you can't be good at everything.
No, we can't be good at everything. But anyway, I'm telling you, you've sure done a terrific job. Oh, you have been nominated for the Jolie Awards, or Jolie Awards nominee?
Josie Awards.
Josie Awards. I wrote down the wrong name. The Josie Awards. Okay, we'll get that right. And that's going to be over at Dollywood, correct?
That's correct, on September 8th, and it's going to be live at Dollywood.
And I'm hoping that we've had some discussion now. I don't have any confirmation for sure on it, but I'm hoping that we're going to get to be there, and you get
that
to be
would
on
awesome.
again.
That would
You
be
get to
so
be on
great to see
again.
you
Yeah,
again.
we covered on the TV side too, so maybe we can get together again on that. But when did you get interested in writing?
When I could pick up a pencil.
Oh,
By the time I was 8, I had my first writing award for young authors, and then I went on to write a lot of poetry, got published in Poetry, and then got accredited by the Writers Guild of
no, wait a minute.
Northwest.
At 8?
At 8.
You got an award?
I did.
She got an award at 8 for poetry.
Yes.
And, of course, I began writing in a similar fashion. I would be sitting in my classroom, and instead of doing what I was supposed to be doing, I'd be writing some poems down, because I thought that's just really neat. I like to make things rhyme. And then when I began learning to play guitar, put a few chords together. My mom taught me G and D, the first 2 chords I ever learned, and then I began to, hey, why don't I turn these poems into put this music, put them together here, and I began the same way. When did you begin a career professionally?
Oh, in music?
Yes.
Last year.
Last year?
Last year. I had the poetry and been doing nothing but writing, started writing a book. And then when I did Military Mom, my son uploaded it and said, you need to do something with this, because this is how a lot of moms feel before their kids go overseas. So a producer got in contact with me out of Nashville and said, I want to record that. Well, one song turned into 10.
Well, that's it's an awesome job, and it's just wonderful to have the talent and put it to use. And your songs, one thing I noticed, your songs have good content, good meaning, and a spirituality too. You don't leave out your faith in any.
Oh,
of it.
absolutely not. If it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be where I'm at today.
Yeah, right. And so none of us would. And it's a lot of people may not realize it or recognize it, but that's the key, I think, to being really successful, is recognizing that, hey, I'm not my own. I'm bought with a price, and I need to put forth my best effort for the purpose of my Creator, mankind, and you know that's our programming here. It's faith-based, and it's a community. It's an effort to be something for the community, be a community thing to do to help to work in the community, with the community, for the community. And that's the reason that we like to get this kind of material that's really heartfelt, and the people can sense that too.
I am so humbled and so blessed for every opportunity that's strapped to my doorstep, every door that's open. It's like God has led this path and this journey, and it is so amazing.
Well, that's, yeah, it's really neat. And I've been looking forward to this morning and getting to present your music and your album on Mountain Monday morning. And of course, Mountain Man. Mountain Man's a rare.
He's a character.
He's a very rare, one of a kind character, but he's a man of faith too, and he's a lot of fun. He began the first program that I did here on Mountain Fun Life. He came over with me, and this is, we have seen so much talent since we began here, which was back during the winter sometime. I don't remember now. I've kind of lost track. But we've made a lot of friends around the world, having people, and hopefully people, maybe we can get some things going here that get people to go to your page.
That would be awesome. I've come a long way since singing to a spoon on a microphone for a microphone when I was 3. Daddy says I took my swimming pool, turned it upside down, put a blanket over it, and I had a stage and a spoon and dolly, and that's all I needed.
Well, you know, a lot of people who are musically minded, they get started in some very strange ways. Now, when I was just a kid, my mother, my older brother, a couple of sisters, they had a gospel singing group, and they'd sing the old mountain gospel songs, go around to tent revivals and different radio stations, local radio stations. So I've been doing in and around radio, not necessarily doing them, but I've been in them and around them since I was just about knee high to a grasshopper. And it left an impression on me. It was so much fun, and but I began singing even before I ever learned to play guitar. My dad was a farmer, and we logged, and when I got older, I helped do the farming, logging, and everything. But when I was just a kid, my dad would lean his plow, with the plow handles up against an old oak tree in the front yard. That was his favorite spot to put it. He'd lean that plow up against that tree. I thought, well, that plow looks like a mic stand. And I found an empty, you're right. I found an empty soup bean can. And I found me a tack that I could just about an inch or so long. And I got my hammer, got my dad's hammer, and I went out there and I tapped that end of that plow stalk and put that tack through there. And natural reverb, I think I knew about natural reverb before the big industries found out about it. I was singing into that can. I get up there and I just sing away. My mother would get tickled at me. My dad came in, he saw what I'd done. He said, Bob, he always called me Bob. He said, don't be driving nails into my plow handle. It'll cause the wood to split. And my mom kind of got on to him, said, you leave him alone. He's practicing his career. He's practicing his singing and his music. Don't bother him. He said, well, you need to be driving that into my plow. They almost got into an argument about my microphone. And there I was, that is my microphone. That is my rehearsal spot. And it was just something else. But anyway, it's interesting to just reminisce and go back to those good old days. I'm sure your plans for the future. What do you have in mind?
Well, we're talking about a tour for the spring, and then got some music videos in the works over the next few weeks. And I want to do a lot of military. Actually, I just met with a military promoter, former Marine, And he's a music promoter, and he has asked me to come on board to do the USO and Wounded Warrior.
Oh, great.
So that's in the plans for next year. So
That is something that's really interesting, the USO and anything that can be done for the sake and the entertainment of our troops who are serving. I was in service. I was in military in the Air Force. I was injured, medically discharged.
well, thank you
honorably
for your
discharged.
service.
But thank you, thank you for such a wonderful song, Military Mom. And I'm sure that all moms that have anyone in service, you need to go listen to this song. Go to her website and find this song. Is it a clip of it or something available?
Actually, on Reverb Nation, you can find it in its entirety.
In its entirety.
Yeah,
So they
and,
can probably actually
yeah.
download it
Yes.
if they want to get a copy of it.
And if they purchase the album or they download it from iTunes or Amazon, a portion of the proceeds actually go back to Wounded Warriors.
Oh, well, that's very thoughtful and generous of you. So, military moms, if you have a son, daughter, someone in the military, be sure and if nothing else, find this one particular song. I recommend all of them, but find this one particular song, Military Mom, and
I'm
you
so
can,
proud. It's hit 12.5 million streams since its release.
12.5 million streams.
It's
That's
in
just
24
wonderful.
countries. It is
That's
so awesome.
wonderful. Okay, here it is. Here it is going out again. The clip that we played here going out into several countries again, and so it's getting out there, and that's what counts. If you got a message, getting it out, it's not good. Hey people, if you got a message, come over here to Mountain Fun Live, DDX Media, and or Creative Christian Network, and let Bob help you out, help you to get your message out. If you've got a message, and a lot of churches and a lot of ministries, I'm not being critical, but you can't keep it inside 4 brick walls,
Amen.
block or whatever, and just me and my 3. Sorry, but that's the way it is in some places. People, listen. If you got a message, get the message out and going. And I can't think of a better venue that I've ever been affiliated with than right here at DDX Media. And Bob Denny will help you out with just all kinds of good stuff that he can do. If you'd like to support any of the programming here, be sure to like the page, share our page, rate our page. Share our videos, subscribe to YouTube, do all that good stuff. And that helps get the message. That's the key.
Many hands make light of God's work.
Exactly. And idle hands. Don't need idle hands, folks. Let's keep ministries and our ideas and good songs and singing. And I can tell you put your heart into that, all the songs. But that one, like I say, it almost brought me to tears.
I have heard that from concert promoters, from big tall Marines. It's a song that pulls on the heartstrings, but it's just the words that I had for my son before he left. But if the world hears it and they can identify with it, then music has done what I intended it to do.
Sure. Well, something that is so personal to you can become and be a part of someone else, the personality and personal feelings, emotions of someone else who might be able to relate to that, especially if they have a child or not a child, but a son or daughter who's in the military. They'll be able to relate to that. And that's the reason you need to go listen to this song, download it, and or get the album, and keep getting the message out. And it's been such a pleasure having you here this morning. I'm so glad that
thank you for
that you got to
inviting
be
me
here. And we're just kind of relaxed, laid back mountain folk, and we don't do anything fancy here other than just try to be everybody's friend. And
that
that's
works
what
for
we
me.
need
If
to
you
do.
hear Crossroad Memories, it don't get any more country than that. Growing up on a farm.
Yes, you grew up on a farm.
I did.
Well, I don't think there's any better life. Well, I'll tell you, we have just gone run out of time. I appreciate you so much coming by,
Thank you.
sharing your music and your testimony and your story.
It's great to
and
be
your
here.
career.
You guys are wonderful.
Maybe we can get together again. And so right now, we want to thank all of you who are listening across the state of Tennessee, across the United States, around the world. And those of you in the foreign countries who have commented so graciously and said that you will even stay up late at night to catch our programming all the way around in Australia and up in Canada and around in India, Bangladesh, and Pakistan, even Pakistan, South Africa. We appreciate you so much and thank you for taking an interest in mountain life, mountain living, and Mountain Fun Life Radio. Goodbye.